Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the double counter line, which is very popular in the current Fossil Cup. But we're going to have a little bit of a twist here, and we're going to run the Acid Spray on this Escavalier here, which is going to be a very interesting play. As you're going to see in the video as well, it's going to be very cool in some scenarios. Sometimes you of course want to have Mega Horn, but actually Acid Spray came in clutch quite often, to be fair, so I liked it quite a bit. Here, for example, we're going to see the first Acid Spray already hitting against the opponent, as we're going to be able to get some more damage onto the opponent with that, as we can now spark them all the way down. And the spark damage after double debuff, double super effective, is doing so much damage against the opponent that we can even go ahead and go for another charge move here, so we can swap out into our Lucario and just farm them down. This team was in my top team video as well, was very common the entire way throughout. Like, this is mostly the most common team that you're going to encounter, but especially with a Lanturn lead, it is a fairly decent team as well. Here we're going to encounter a mirror lead. This is going to be a tricky one as well here right now, as you're going to see that they go for the Thunderbolt. But usually I kind of want to keep my shields for my backline, as my Lanturn is definitely my bulkiest Pokemon. So I think it's the best play to just go ahead and go for the Thunderbolt, keep your shield. And here I'm going to go for the Surf. I don't know, was it a CMP tie? I think I lost the CMP tie. No, I won the CMP tie there. But the opponent did no shield, which is really bad for me, as I now have to swap into my Lucario, and they go into their own Lucario, allowing me to get to one move before them. And honestly, I was super surprised that this is going to be a closer one than I expected. I thought I would be able to just realign here right now by shielding, and I don't. And I think this is just based down to my Lucario IVs. See, my Lucario IVs on the right side, they are pretty horrific. I'm hopefully gonna get a better one during the Go Fest, where Lucario is going to spawn in the wild as a Lucario, which is kind of funny, for the London variant of it. So yeah, I'm gonna be in London for the Go Fest. It's going to be very fun, as this is going to be actually very soon already. It's like next weekend, or like the weekend afterwards. So it's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully I can do some content while I'm in London as well. Otherwise, you're going to see all the cool content with DNC, with a Mega Rayquaza, with Mega DNC, with Carbink as well on my channel then. So subscribe already if you haven't, as this is going to come all to my channel. As my opponent makes a great prediction here. No shielding, I think, my charge move there, which was really smart, as I have to go for another charge move here right now. Shadow Ball coming through, going to get shielded, but we're going to still be able to counter our opponent here with our Escavalier. Next Pokemon, going to be the Jelson against us. Fairly decent, as they're gonna swap out into their own Escavalier, and I'm gonna be able to go for a charge move here, hopefully gonna get some damage onto them. And honestly, I most likely should have went ahead and went for the Lucario Say Stop here, because I would have been able to just shield, farm them down, get a ton of energy, and would have been able to just do more damage, or like have a better play against the opponent's Jelson. So this is most likely a mistake by me. Here I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Acid Spray, which I think was a solid play, because now I have my Lanturn against them, and you see already the Lanturn spark damage is just adding up. We're going to be able to get a shield here from the opponent, but it's fairly likely that they're going to have an Escavalier in the back. I'm going to shield up the move here, which is definitely the way to go. But let's find out. They're going to have actually a Ferrothorn in the back, and this is going to be amazing, as we can go ahead and move into our Lucario. Lucario will not appreciate, Lucario will appreciate this matchup here, so we will be able to just go ahead and go for the Power Punch, let the move go through. We still survive a Thunder, even though our IVs are horrific, and we will be able to farm them all the way down, and we even get to the Shadow Ball, which is very nice for us, as the opponent has to predict that this is not a Shadow Ball, and they do, and this did not work out at all for them, as we're going to be able to knock them out. Next up, we're going to have a Berserker, and in comes an Escavalier. I should have went straight for the Power Punch most likely, but I wanted to get the safe shield advantage here, which is in hindsight a very stupid play by me. Going straight for the Power Punch might be even be enough to realign against the opponent there, so that was definitely not the way to go. But this team definitely worked out really well for me, so I can highly recommend it to you. But you're going to encounter quite a lot of mirror matches, or like different lead but the same backline. It's the most common backline around, and here my opponent makes actually a great play. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the Dugong against us. I'm going to go for the Acid Spray, because I expect the opponent to want to stay in here for a little bit. And like this, we're going to get the defense drop, and our counter does so much more damage, which is really nice to see. But of course, they are most likely going to go for the Icy Wind, which they're going to do here. And I hope that I can farm them down here and knock them out. But no, I have to go for a charge move first. And they're going to shield this move up. Smart play by them. Yes, now they are going to be able to go for another Icy Wind. I'm going to no shield here, hoping that I can go for, hoping that this is going to be enough to knock out the opponent there. which is not the case because of the two debuffs there, but I feel like that the opponent would have got to a charge move with their Berserker anyway, so going for the no shield there, don't think was a mistake in my opinion. Next opponent, we're going to have an Escavalier in the lead. This is pretty bad for us to deal with, but we're going to see right now that we will be able to go ahead and go for the swap out into Lucario, and we're gonna get out the opponent's Quagsire. I'm gonna go for the Power Punch, trying to go ahead and try to knock them out and maybe realign. Let's see if that's going to work out well for me. As the opponent has already quite some energy here, most likely. And I can go for the Power Punch. That's going to maybe force a shield from the opponent. Let's see. It does not. And they can still knock me out. This is such a bad spot we're in. Let's maybe just go ahead and go into the Lanturn, trying to farm them down here, getting some energy. But we are 2 shields down, and it is not looking pretty. Like, it's literally not looking pretty here. As they're going to be able to at least swap out now into our Escavalier, trying to farm them down. We're going to be able to knock them down after this one, but it all depends on what they have in the back, and it's going to be the opponent's Lanturn, and I can go for the Acid Spray. And I sure went for the Acid Spray straight away, and why did I don't know why I didn't do it straight away, because it doesn't really make sense. Because I want to go for the CMP tire, so I guess it does make sense. As now we're going to have our own Lanturn against the opponent's Lanturn. I can go for the Thunderbolt. Was this the play to win us the game? Double debuffed opponent's defense, and we're going to be able to do a ton of damage against them. In comes now the charge move from the opponent. Is this going to be enough to knock us out? It is not, and we gonna get hit by another Surf by the opponent. And they survive with 1 HP, so that's not really ideal. Next game here, we're going to see interesting play here. We're going to be straight into the battle, and we're going to see a Medicham, which already should tell you this is not the right league. I sometimes accidentally went into the Great League when this still was available, so you might see some games from the Great League, which is kind of funny and kind of ridiculous. But yeah, this is of course pre-produced before the Ultra League dropped. Ultra League drops for me in 1 day. So this is still a meta team, but it's kind of funny. There were some games where I just misclicked and went to the Great League with the wrong team here, of course. But here we're going to see that the opponent going to go for a charge move against me. It's going to be a Psychic. We'll be able to go for another Surf. And now let's see if we can sweep them endgame with our Escavalier. We have to hope. Let's see what they're going to have in the back. They're going to go ahead and go for a charge move here. I'm predicting at this point of time that they have a Bastion in the back, and it's going to be the Carbink. And let's take a look if Carbink is going to appreciate this incoming Acid Spray. It is definitely doing some more damage now with counter, but is one more drill run enough to knock out the opponent? Let's see. It is not. Carbink is so broken. I can't wait to get my fully XL variant in London then. I already have like 50 candies for Carbink, so it's definitely going to be something nice. We're going to see now the next game, now this time around again in the Fossil Cup, so that was just a small one. There might be actually one more game where I went to the Great League on accident, so that's nice. Let's see here, we're going to see that the opponent going to run the Escavalier in the lead. That's really bad for us, but we can get a shield advantage, which is really nice, or switch advantage, and I will take rather the shield advantage here, but they're going to let this go through. And now we have the Lanturn against our Lucario. Honestly, I think I misplayed this game here as well. Let's see. I'm gonna go for the shield against the Surf, and I'm gonna go for the shield, like bait here against the opponent, because I expect them to shield this move up. They did not, and now we're going to have the Shadow Ball against the opponent. Hopefully it's still stalled, but they're gonna go for the what's called for the Thunderbolt. But now we're going to see how strong Lucario can be. They're going to go into their Kingdra right now, and we are now triple buffed onto our attack. And as you can see right now, this is going to be crazy. The opponent's Kingdra does not know what's happening here, and the opponent going to just forfeit because the counter damage was just adding up so much. It was wild. Next opponent, Lucario comes in against us. They have 6 moves here. This could be a close combat, so I'm going to shield this move up, and it is a close combat, as we will be able to farm them all the way down. As now we're going to see the opponent coming into their Jellicent again. They can go ahead and go straight for the Acid Spray right now. So both counter as well as the Drill Run going to do more damage when they're going to hit, as well as Spark going to do more damage. And just in general, Acid Spray is just a cool move to have on this Pokemon right now. We see a ton of damage coming in. The opponent is still forced to shield up or like throw a move here against me, which is going to be the Surf. I can go into my Lanturn, and they're going to have their own Escavalier in the back. And like this game is over, I think. I don't think there's anything I can do here, and I think I'm going to realize this soon as well and just forfeit, because there's not a lot that I can do. Like, there's literally not a lot that I can do. I can go for a Power Punch here maybe, but the opponent going to have a great time against me here right now. They're going to shield this move up. Great play by them. They can farm me all the way down. But no, they're going to lag, and this will allow me to knock them out for whatever reason. And like this, we're going to be able to now align our Lanturn against the opponent. We just have to farm them down. There's no way they can win this, even if they have 100 energy right now, as they still need another fast move to get to another Shadow Ball. And this is why most people just don't quit out. There is still the chance of lagging, and in general, there's currently a bug going around where you're just going to get frozen into battle. This happened 5 times in 2 days for me, so definitely be careful about this. But here we're going to see now another Escavalier lead, again, another lead that I really don't want to face with this team here, but I can go ahead and go for a charge move against the opponent. With that one, Surf coming through, we're gonna get the shield advantage now, and we can go ahead and go into our Lucario, and I try to reach that Shadow Ball. We're going to see that the opponent gonna go for the Surf here, and I can try to overfarm by quite a bit. I want to be as low as possible, as now the Surf comes through, and the Shadow Ball comes through, and we're gonna get the shield from the opponent, and now they have a ton of energy, so hopefully Escavalier can sweep endgame here. We have the Drill Run, we have the Acid Spray, we have some shield advantage, which we're going to lose all here right now, as the opponent was able to get to another Surf here. I'm going to overfarm by quite a bit. As they go into their own Escavalier, I can farm them all the way down. We have a ton of energy here right now, and they're going to go ahead and go into their Ferrothorn. One more move coming through here, going to be the Acid Spray, gonna get the debuff, and now just watch this. They still have a ton of health, but with the Acid Spray, this Drill Run is enough to knock them out and win us this game. Again, I just like Acid Spray on this Pokemon. It's just so much fun to play. And now we're going to be able to go ahead and go into the next game. We're going to encounter the Gyarados lead. Amazing lead for me, but I'm going to actually farm them all the way down, because the opponent going to stay in here. I'm going to assume that they're going to be weak against me in the back as well. So I'm just going to take the energy here, I'm going to shoot up the Crunch, and I will see that they're going to have a Whiscash in the back. A Whiscash is going to be a difficult Pokemon for me to deal with this team, especially. You are fairly weak against Pokemon like this, where like this team is fine against Swampert because Swampert is pretty squishy and counter does a ton of damage. But Whiscash is not squishy at all. Like, this Pokemon is not squishy at all, as you're going to see here right now as well. This Pokemon can take all those Surfs, but they're going to now farm me all the way down. Allows me to go into the Escavalier, and of course, we have Acid Spray. So if they want to swap out here right now, this is going to be a tricky one for the opponent, because we have Acid Spray. Let's see, the opponent going to go for a charge move, allowing me to shield up the move, and they're going to go into their own Escavalier. And just watch this. Shield comes through. Going to be amazing, debuff, and the Drill Run comes through as well. We will be able to win CMP. This is a double debuff, this is a knockout, and our Lucario has a great time at the end here as well, winning us this game again. Horrible lead against us here again. We're going to swap out immediately into our Lucario, which is going to have, of course, access to Shadow Ball, which the opponent's Jellicent definitely doesn't like. But you should go straight for the Shadow Ball. Don't do what I do here. I always go for the bait, which is so stupid because most opponents just don't shield, because I think they can actually survive on Shadow Ball. But as you're going to see right now, I'm still going to be able to reach one, and I will be able to get a shield advantage, and I think a shield advantage might be beneficial for me here right now. It's going to be a little bit of a trickier one, but as you can see, the Shadow Ball comes through, going to be fine. We can still go ahead and go for the Thunderbolt straight away, as this is going to knock out the opponent. And we will see right now that I can swap out into my Escavalier. In comes the Ferrothorn. And this is not going to do enough damage here. They're going to go for the Power Whip. I'm going to see now the Lanturn coming in. And we just have to hope that we can go ahead, go for the Acid Spray, do enough damage with our counter plus the next Drill Run that we're going to be able to win this game. But of course, they're going to now go for the Surf. I bet they're going to shield the Drill Run coming in. They kind of have to. So I can go ahead and go for another Acid Spray, forcing the shield and getting the 4 times debuff against the opponent. This will allow me to go ahead and farm them all the way down here. As the Surf comes through, I will be able to go ahead and swap out onto the next Surf into my own Lanturn. And now this is going to be crucial. I have to get to the Surf here. Please let me go for the Surf. No. And like this, they are not in range for the Drill Run. They have to go for 2 more fast moves beforehand, and this is going to sadly cost us the game, as this is going to make this a draw for the final game of today's video. This team is very good. A lot of people hit legends with this team. You should definitely try it out. I really enjoyed Acid Spray on this Pokemon as well, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and also I see you in the next one. Bye bye.